At it again, and we got to talk about some huge news. Huge. All right. And that is, we could be having a unified ticket here shortly. I'll explain more. But Kamala could be in some serious trouble here. And that is because, it is literally everybody is going against Kamala in terms of the other candidates, like Cornel West.
We here because we love oppressed people, and in this case, it's Palestine. Yes. It could be any oppressed people. It could be Jews in Germany. Yes. It could be landless workers in Brazil. Yes. It could be brothers and sisters in Haiti. But we live in an American empire that has such unbelievable spiritual decay and moral deterioration, they think they can reproduce themselves with a level of hypocrisy and mendacity and criminality and get away with it. And we're simply here to say, chickens come home to roost. You're going to reap what you sow. Sooner or later, your lies and your crimes will be revealed and disclosed. Because truth crushed the earth will rise again, and truth is bigger than all of us, but it has something to do with the suffering of those who find themselves in place and predicaments that the great Frantz Fanon called the wretched of the earth, and we are in solidarity with them. Yes.
So yeah, you just heard Cornel West, and one of his his slogan is abandon Harris, and you saw those signs behind him right here, abandon Harris 24. So that's one way or one reason why Kamala is in some serious trouble. She's also in trouble because she's decided, her and the DNC, the Democrat elites, have decided to wage war against RFK Jr.
Hey everybody, I'm at the state courthouse in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania this morning. I'm supposed to be in a meeting with community leaders on the south side of Chicago today talking about criminal justice reform, but I had to come here because the Democratic Party is suing me in Pennsylvania. And by the way, tomorrow I'm going to Mineola, Long Island, because they're suing me there too. They're suing me all over the country. They try to keep me off the ballot. Unfortunately, in some of these states, we're running into judges who are highly politicized and who are very, very sympathetic, let me put it that way, to the DNC. And today, the judge was less than sympathetic to our side. I came down from Boston this morning. I was supposed to get here last night. We had the whole day set aside for my testimony and for the testimony of Nick Branna, who is our ballot access director, who stayed the night here in Harrisburg. But I was supposed to come last night, but my plane got canceled because of weather. So I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, and I made it here by 11:30. But the judge said that because I was late, that I was not going to get a chance to testify. So my testimony, which was critical to this case, was excluded, and she wouldn't even let Nick Branna testify.
So yeah, Democrats are waging war against RFK Jr. And that has pushed him, obviously, to create an independent ticket, or to go independent, right? Put that in air quotations. But it's gone even further now. Check out his running mate and what she had to say about their situation, because I do think it is quite interesting. And, I'm not going to spoil it. Just check it out.
I did not put in tens of millions of dollars to be a spoiler candidate. I put in tens of $millions to win, to fix this country, to do the right thing. I will say that Clear Choice, this PAC, this DNC-aligned PAC that was created specifically to take us out, has spent millions of dollars to take us out. They have unfortunately turned us into a spoiler. And we don't want to be a spoiler. We wanted to win. We wanted a fair shot. The DNC made that impossible for us. They have banned us, shadow banned us, kept us off stages, manipulated polls, used lawfare against us, sued us in every possible state. They've even planted insiders into our campaign to disrupt it and to create actual legal issues for us. I mean, the extent by which the sabotage they've unleashed upon us, it's mind-blowing. I mean, we're still learning new ways that they have sabotaged us. I really wanted a fair shot at this election, and I believed in the America that a little girl pledged an allegiance to. And that is not where we are today. And it's not because of the Republican Party taking us out. It is exclusively because of the Democratic Party taking us out. And I am so disappointed I ever helped them. I am so disappointed that I helped Chuck Schumer in that Georgia runoff secure a majority. It's probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And it's really devastating. So to answer your question, we are not spoilers. That was never our motivation. We really wanted a fair shot. I think had we had a fair shot, we would have won. I still would love to see in the last 80 days of this election some miracle play out where we get a chance to debate. I don't think they're going to let us. You know, given this, I think we are taking a very serious look at making sure that the people that have corrupted our fair and free democracy do not end up in office in November. It's hard. I mean, it's really hard, Tom, to say these words because it's also acknowledging how bad things are.
Yeah, it's hard to hear the words. Do you guys see any path to victory at this point?
I mean, technically, if we can stay on the ballots, you know, we've qualified for all the ballots now, which is like an enormous feat. Like you don't understand. The system was designed to, after Ross Perot, to keep this from ever happening again, and we accomplished it. So technically, we could win. We could absolutely win still. The problem is if you censor a candidate, as we've been censored, people don't get a chance to even hear us. So, you know, there's two options that we're looking at. And one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Waltz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump. Or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump and you know, we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision. Not easy.
Clearly.
Yeah, not an easy decision.
You heard that correctly. Walk away and join forces with Trump. I don't know about you, but I like the sound of that. Now, do I completely trust her or RFK Jr.? No. But I'm about winning. Okay? And obviously, you see that Democrats are willing to do anything and everything possible. You just heard her say it. They have infiltrated their campaign to try to sabotage them from the inside. Democrats will do anything. And we have to be willing to do the same. Everything that's legal, of course. Not advocating that anybody breaks the law. But we have to be willing to do anything and everything that's legally possible to get this W. And if that means, hey, Trump and RFK shake hands and kumbaya, hey, let's get it. Let's get it. I'm with it. Let's go. If that means Trump has to give RFK Jr. some cabinet position, right? I'm with it. Go for it. Because at the end of the day, Trump is still the president. The buck stops with him at the end of the day. So I wouldn't be too concerned with RFK Jr. being a cabinet member or working in some fashion in the Trump on the Trump team. No, I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Especially since Trump has experience now. He's seen all the snakes. He knows to keep the grass cut low. He knows the ins and outs of everything, because obviously that was a criticism of him in his first term. And I said this before, like, when I look at some of the decisions that he made and I try to put myself in his shoes, I'm like, I probably would have done the same thing. Given the circumstance, obviously hindsight is always 20/20. We could always say after the fact, all right, yeah, that probably wasn't the greatest decision. But giving the circumstance, giving the people that were around him, which weren't great people, and we know that now, but he didn't know that before, but he knows now, okay? People telling him, hey, you can't really do that because of X, Y, and Z, you know, this thing over here, blah, blah, blah. I would have made some of the same decisions. I feel like most people would have. If you're being completely honest and you're putting yourself in his shoes back then, a lot of people would have made some of those same decisions, giving, you know, his circumstance, being in his position. So no, I don't fault him for his first administration, you know, not doing everything that I would have liked. No. I would this time, right? Because he knows the ins and outs. He knows the ropes, which I'm not worried about it. I'm not saying that I am worried about it. I honestly think this is why we're seeing the establishment push back so hard. It's because they know they royally messed up, and he knows everything now. He knows where the skeletons are buried, right? So when he gets in, it's a bull in a china shop, and they better run for the hills, and they better run fast. So yeah, if that ensures that Trump wins, bring it. Bring it. Let's go, RFK Jr. Let's go. You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Would you guys be for RFK Jr. joining forces with Trump? I'm with it, because that means it gives us an even greater shot at winning. It gives us an even greater shot. See, the Democrats like royally messed themselves up. And I'll tell you why. Because RFK Jr. went to both parties. I even talked about this, I believe, in a previous video. He went to both parties. He went to Trump, which we saw the phone call. Matter of fact, I think I have the phone call video, or at least one of them. Yeah.
Something's wrong with that whole system. And, you know, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? You know, it's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. You know, we're way ahead of the guy. And, you know, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called.
So yeah, you saw the phone call there. He also tried to get in contact with the Harris campaign, and of course they shot him down, which I think was a huge mistake by the Harris campaign. I think it's just being arrogant and knowing that he isn't the biggest fan of them and what they want to implement and what they want to do. So listen, I'm all with it. I'm all with it. I don't see any reason as to not join, as to be against him joining forces with Trump. Because for me, in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, obviously, that's what you're here for, anybody that is against him joining forces with Trump, in my humble opinion, you're not serious about winning. Maybe I'm wrong about that. If I am, let me know in the comment section and explain why. But I'm about winning. I want to see Trump walk back into that White House. I don't want to see a Kamala Harris and Tim Walz ticket. So that's where I'm at with it. Also, and I'll leave you guys with this, someone who has been right on a lot of things, you know, a guy by the name of Alex Jones. Some of you have probably heard of him. Obviously, I'm being funny here. I'm not. But it's been reported that it's actually going to happen. RFK will drop out of the race on Friday and endorse Trump. We'll see if it's true. He's been right on a lot of things. We shall see. And to see his running mate come out and say something like that, possibly join forces with Trump, drop out now. You know, drop out now. There's supposed to be an announcement on Friday. I like the sound of it. I like the sound of it. So y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions. As always, stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.